Alright, I'm out here on this map I started building. I just went and bought a second membership on iOS on my iPad so I could get back into building maps. And, well, it's kind of a bust. So I had this cool idea to make this, like, really terraced map that's, I called it Aztec Ruins. I was gonna make, like, Aztec ruins, one terrace after another, like big fortresses. Here, let me get in the drone so I can show you the map anyway. But my iPad is suffering terribly. It's an old iPad. It's like a fourth generation iPad made in 2012, I think, and it has a 32-bit processor, and it won't hardly keep up anymore. It won't. You can't play Off-Road Outlaws on it. You can do some things on it, like build a vehicle. So this is the map, and I got started on it. The only way I was able to open up the editor, the map editor on this thing, was I had to leave Wi-Fi on, open the game, and let it go to the yard where all the vehicles are, and then turn Wi-Fi off, and then I could go to single player custom maps and hit create map, and it would actually open the editor. As long as it didn't have to try and like load all the custom maps before you hit the editor, because if you tried that, if you tried it all with Wi-Fi on, as soon as you hit custom maps and it tried to load all the custom maps, it would just crash the game. And so the only way I could figure out how to get into the editor was to open, and I tried doing it from the very start with Wi-Fi off, but then it just showed me, it said an error, we can't communicate or something. But I figured out if I left Wi-Fi on, opened the game, then turned Wi-Fi off, and then hit single player custom maps, it would let me hit create map and I could go to the editor. And then while I was in the editor, I could turn Wi-Fi back on to save my map. But as soon as I exited the map for the first time, well, then of course I could no longer get back into it. And I should have known better than to even try exiting. But I wanted to know if I could do it, and I kind of figured I couldn't, and I was right. So, this map is basically finished because I can't get into it anymore. I started to put some stuff on it, and, it took me a while to even do this, and I was like, man, I don't want to, build this whole map all in one shot, and it's like, let's try exiting and see if I can get back in, and I can't. So, I could retire this iPad and get a newer iPad, but that still means I gotta have two memberships because iOS and Android you can't load the same account. Or you can't log in even with Facebook and get the same account, which I would think you would be able to, but, whatever. So I need to get like a 10-inch Android tablet that will run Off-Road Outlaws well enough that I can get in, that it'll load the custom map lists, and then I can build maps again. And here, I'll show you what I got. I've been looking at, let's see, where's my watch list here? I'm on eBay. So my watch list has these two things on it. There's this one that's, well, whatever. I only need 16 gigabyte, but it's, so this 10-inch tablet PC, Android quad core. I don't know, quad core. I don't know why it says PC. I guess, I don't know. Quad core, 16 gig Wi-Fi. I don't need any cellular service, but, and then let's see, there's this, and that one's 66 bucks. Buy it now for 66 bucks. I think it's, I don't know if it's refurbished or condition new. Okay. And then there's, well, is this my watch list? No. And there's this guy. I think this is manufacturer refurbished. Might have scratches. I don't care about any of that. I find manufacturer refurbished stuff to be just fine. This is a 10.1 inch tablet, PC Android 6.0, octa-core, 8-core processor, 64 gigs. That's better than that's a lot better than the other one. But I don't know if this is. I would think this would run Off-Road Outlaws pretty well too, and run the editor just fine. So I can build maps, and then because I mean honestly, I'd rather just make the switch to Android because the BlueStacks is Android, and then I can just have one membership and log into the same account and make maps, right? So let me know what you guys think, or if you have any other recommendations. And if you want to come try out this map is pretty interesting even as it is. I mean, I only got part of it filled in with rocks. I was planning on see, I actually built a lot of this as climbable. You could go ahead and climb up into each terrace, but then later on I kind of had the idea, once I got in here and was crawling around on the terraces that I did put rocks in, I had the idea to go ahead and raise these up and make this uncrawlable to where, and I wouldn't even have to put these rocks, because I put these rocks here so you could actually get up and climb up through to the next one. Well, I could use these ramps, and I thought it would be cool to like make it so you have to go all the way around one terrace and then get to one of these. I could use these logs as to make a ramp up to the next terrace. So then you get up to this one and you got to go all the way around, to the other side of it, and then find the ramp to the next terrace, and then go around to the next one, and so on and so forth. And it could be pretty fun. Like you'd have to start from here, or geez, let's take a look around here. Yeah, start from down here somewhere and find a ramp up to this one. You go all the way around here and find a ramp up to that one, and all the way back to here and find a ramp up to this one, and so on and so forth. And it could be a pretty cool map. And I just did this with the flattened path. Like I started at the top, made a circle. There's a flatten function, and I used the path, and I just kept making bigger circles and bigger circles. And then eventually I got to where I was just doing arcs because there's high spots over here I didn't want to include, but it could have been a really trippy map. Anyway, so yeah, my iPad is toast. I can't use it anymore. I mean, I could if I plugged it in and opened up a new map in the map editor, did create map, and then just finished it all in one session. Like, I mean, I could go ahead and take a week to finish a map still, but I'd have to have my iPad locked onto the editor and open all week long, because you're not going to build a map all in one shot. You gotta work on it for a while and take a break, and then I could come in here and test it, because as soon as you hit upload map, even with the map editor still open, then I could come in here and keep testing it on my BlueStacks, and then as long as I have the editor still open, I can test and change what I need to after I test it in BlueStacks. But honestly, I don't want to mess with that. It's just too much of a pain in the ass. So I guess this map is what it is, and I'm not going to try and build anymore on my iPad. I just need to get a newer tablet, and I'm gonna go ahead and make the switch to Android. So like I said, if you have suggestions, or if you think either of those two that I showed you on eBay for cheap are decent, because if I can get a tablet for $60 or $65 or something that will run it and run the editor, that's great, because iPads are way more expensive. And I would need at least a 64-bit iPad, and they're like $200 minimum. Basically, I mean, you might find a better deal. That looks like Wild Horse Island in Glacier Park in Montana. I bet that's what that is. Anyway, yeah, let me know what your recommendations are, and feel free to come play on this half of a map. It's called Aztec Ruins. See you later.